Another thing I wanted to mention, since this is a metal podcast, this is a concept that I discovered when I was a child through my mom, but has been really, really fundamental to my a peace of mind. Is so the band Veil of Maya,
Yeah.
and there's a Cynic song called Veil of Maya, right?
Yes.
Do you know where they got that from?
I don't actually, come to think of it.
It is a Hindu thing. The way that I know about it is a guy named Paramahansa Yogananda, who my mom was into. He's a guy who came over to the U.S. and I think in the 20s. He's from India to essentially, his message was that Hinduism and Christianity were compatible. And I'm not religious, but this book, it's the only book that I still have it's like the only thing I have really that my mom gave me. I have this book called Whispers from Eternity, and he talks a lot about that. Talks a lot in that book about the veil of Maya. Maya is like illusion, and the veil of Maya is when you have this veil of illusion in front of your face that makes you believe, in that things are, other than what they actually are. And in particular, and that in that veil of Maya is almost always self-imposed, right?
Yep.
Like it's basically just all these patterns of distorted thinking. And so you have the power at any time to like just remove that veil of Maya. And as soon as you remove it, you're like, it's like, in the Scooby-Doo cartoon, it's like, like,
Yeah.
oh, it was the farmer all along.
Yeah.
But that's such a transformational idea to me. Is she would always tell me when I was a kid, like, this is Maya, that I would be like pissed off about something at school that somebody did or whatever, and I hated to hear it, because to me, I mean, I was 9 or something like that. And that's a hard thing for a 9-year-old to process. But I'm so glad she told me because, the older I got, I realized like, God damn it, she was right. It is all Maya. It is all illusion. All this thing I'm telling myself is true. And, as like a hyper rational person, I can't help it. But once I realize if I'm bullshitting myself, I can't help but admit it. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn it, I was bullshitting myself, wasn't I? That's not true at all. The situation is actually this, which means that therefore I have to do that. I don't
Yep.
know if that makes any sense, but
No, it totally does. And I
that
mean,
self-imposed veil of Maya is such a crucial thing for people to understand. And I think especially people in our scene, like, let's be real, you don't get into bands called like Cannibal Corpse or Hatebreed because you're like a totally normal, happy, healthy person. There's something up if you're into that stuff.
yeah.
And so I think it's particularly important for people in our world to hear this stuff, which is
Yeah.
why I'm so happy to talk about it. And
Yeah.
I just feel so grateful that my mom somehow or another, had the capacity to put in that daily work for hours and hours and hours every day. And I'm so happy that she instilled that, habit in me because I would probably be a really miserable, unhappy person if she hadn't. And I used to be a really miserable, unhappy person. And I dug myself out of that hole using, the techniques and habits that she, instilled in me as a kid.